You are working professional, having 5 to 10 years of experience. For that person also, it will be very beneficial. Okay, so that's, I have got a good enough idea about you guys. Now, second more question, quickly question here is, have you like, do you have the idea about the data analysis or the Power BI? Do you have already, or you have just listened about this thing, or you have little bit hands-on that? I would like to see that answer also. Little bit, just listen about this. Okay, okay, it's very new. Spotfire, little bit, not really, somewhat idea. Okay. See, little bit idea. I hope everyone knows about it. If I talk about a 12 standard student, he might have also heard about the Power BI or data analytics or data visualization, because this term is everywhere. It's like bombarded everywhere. You open any article, you open any particular news channel, or you can say you open any particular social media, you will see this term every now and then, here and there, right? Either Power BI or data science or data analytics, you see it everywhere. Okay. Azhar, you will get that answer, surely, no problem. See, this particular data science field is something, or data analysis field is something wherein all the companies, where they are from tech or non-tech, they are utilizing this. So if you are from IT or non-IT, that doesn't make any difference these days. This is something which is a must-have skills, right? So you will get the brief idea how you, from the IT background or non-IT background, how you can actually move yourself and learning those kind of skills which can make you good enough, or you can say skilled in the data analysis field. Okay, so you'll get that idea, right? Very good. Okay, right. You have a gap of 5 years. Okay, Vinay, you will get the answer of that as well. Bhaskar, for sure. First, you need to understand how we can learn the Power BI, but we need to understand that also why we are learning Power BI. Then we can think of, okay, yes, do we can we make a career in that or not? Okay, so I'll try to answer within this 2 hours. You will get the answer of all those queries that you have right now with you. Okay, so in this particular masterclass, let me I think like we have a good enough participants now. Let me just start up with the session. Just give me 1 minute. Let me open up my PPT here. Okay, so I hope my particular screen is visible to everyone. I just need 1 or 2 confirmations so that I can move with the session now. Okay. Right. Thanks for the confirmation, everyone. So today's agenda is basically to give you a hands-on implementation experience on specifically using Power BI. We'll be touch base. We'll be doing the touch base on the data visualization. But before the data visualization, we have a lot of things to do. So that we will be touching base all those particular steps which is required to do the data analysis. But before that, we will understand what is this data analysis field, who can actually do this data analysis, and if you do this, so what are the different job roles which are available, which you can get a good enough idea about all those things, right? So let's start with the session. I hope like we have all the audience participants. Yes, we have around 200 participants with us right now. Okay, so guys, in this particular session, I'll be taking you through with the 2 data sets implementation. You will see the hands-on complete implementation using Power BI, and apart from those data sets, I will be giving you certain tips and tricks how actually you can write those particular projects in your CV so that your CV can become ATS friendly. So all those stuffs you will get in this particular masterclass. And apart from this, at the end, you will be like, I'll be giving you some idea and some task also. If you can complete that task till the end of this session, and after that also, then you will be gaining not only the participation certification, but you will get the project certificate also, that you can boost in your LinkedIn profile or in your CV, that you have attended some 2 hours of a session, you learn something in that, and you have implemented one project. And that project, that is like having that bandwidth which you can actually mention in your CV. So I will take it right from very scratch, so that if someone who is completely like have no idea about Power BI, have not seen the Power BI before, still he or she can do that. Okay, so my particular session is arranged in that way. So for you, what I want from you is, I want from you little bit concentration, so that carefully you can see everything, and you will be getting, I don't think so, but you can note it down all the steps, so that you can, after the session, you can implement all those tasks which I'm performing in front of you. And after that, you can try it by yourself. You will be getting the support number, so that if you're stucking up somewhere, you can text us on the WhatsApp and get your queries resolved right away. So that whatever I have implemented in the session, you can replicate the same in your system also. And these will be the few tasks, along with one incomplete task that you guys have to complete. Then you will be getting a project certificate from our side. Okay, not only the project certificate, but you will get the goodies also, like the t-shirt which I'm wearing, plus a lot of other goodies also. You will be getting that if you complete the task within the time frame. So it's not only something which I'm just speaking about and you are just listening. No, it will be a two-way. So if you understood something from the masterclass, if you have understood the task which is being implemented, then you are supposed to implement the same plus one more task. All the three tasks, you have to send it back to us. Then you will be eligible to get that. And only top 50 students will be getting that. So you have to be very fast in terms of timelines. So if you submit it as fast as possible, so you will be getting that specific goodies from our side. Okay, so a lot of other bonuses are also available that I'll be like showing you in the end of the session. Okay, so let me just start with the session here. Now, everyone, I think as soon as we come into the engine, as we come into the college, like we always hear this term data analysis, right? So what actually this data analytics is, and then why actually we should do it, why it is so much buzzword right now in this world. Just after the COVID, like it's being like so much everywhere. It's like data analysis, data science, data engineering. So everyone is running behind this. Why? See, this data analysis term is not new. It's very old term, and this data analysis have been like people were doing it in the organizations using different tools like Excel. So we have a lot of data modelers, we have a lot of data analysts who are actually expert in the Excel, who were doing the data analysis using the Excel. But now, after 2015, like there is an era wherein we have a lot of intelligent tools coming up. This is something which is like, if we are a working professional or you can say graduate or a fresher, and if we don't have the idea about those intelligent tools which have been like floating in the market, and each and every industry is utilizing those business intelligence tools, then we are lagging somewhere, right? So this data analytics, why this term is right now very much buzzword, is because here the companies are looking for those professionals who can actually come up with a I would say, like whatever data that they have in their hard disk, whatever data that they have in their servers, whatever data that they have in the Excel files, how you can come up with a different sort of insights and the pattern which you can take out from that data. So those particular professionals who are having this skills to bring out something very informative from the data are basically known as the data analyst. Okay, and this particular whole process is known as data analytics. So now, like when we say, okay, what is this data, what is this analysis terms for? So data means, like if you talk about any particular process. Let's say if you're visiting the metro station, you're swiping your card, and then you're boarding the train, and then you're moving out in another station. So that particular process is also something wherein a lot of information is being collected, and then a lot of information is being updated on the server. So those information which has already been there in the server, how you can extract that, and after extracting, how you can bring some information, like how many people have boarded. Let's say if I talk about Delhi, so how many people have boarded the metro station of Rajiv Chowk in that one day, and weekly you can have a chart of it. So now it's not only about analyzing it, it's about how you are bringing out the information, means how you are visualizing it. You all know it, like the visual information is always more informative, right? So anyone who is watching those tabular information in the Excel file, and suddenly you get the very nice visualization of that specific same data. So visual information will be more understandable, right? So that's one of the thing. That's why this data analysis field is so much in demand right now. Second, why you should do this. First is, you name any industry, you talk about healthcare, you talk about manufacturing, you talk about any industry, each industry is trying to acquire those skill set, those working professional, or those brains who have the knowledge of this thing, because they are trying to leverage on their data, what they have it. Data means the information about their services, the information about their products, information about their process, information about their operations, information about their customers. So there can be any type of a data. Right now, if you have that skill set to bring out some that information, with the help of which the company can increase their revenue by even by 10 to 15%, you are sorted. Are you getting my point? So that means, if from those dumped hard disk data, which is being, let's say for example, if the organization is running from last 10 years, right, and now from that last 10-year data you need to analyze something, but from that dumped data you can't do anything. So what the market researchers do, what the strategists do, they need the information, they need the data, they need the visuals, so that they can make the new strategies. Now, who will make that visual information from that data? The data analyst will do it. They have been doing it. They have been doing it in the Excel, wherein we can create the dynamic graphs, but we don't have the intelligence in it. You will understand the term of intelligence when you understand few terms like forecasting, when you understand predictions, when you understand like how we can predict a specific pattern out of the data. Okay, but these are very heavy terms for me, like who is completely from non-technical background. If I try to understand that part, it will be very difficult. So that's why we have these business intelligence tools. All the complex thing is being hidden from you. They have been available as a features. If I want to do a forecasting, I can do it very easily by just taking up or taking out the feature of forecasting. So you're not supposed to be expert in the forecasting, but you should know how to use that feature. So that's why the knowledge of the business intelligence tools, wherein you're not supposed to write the algorithms, you're not supposed to write the forecasting or prediction algorithm. No, you're supposed to use the features which has already been done for you. And that's why this is not a very difficult skills to have, but yes, that acumen of understanding the data and then bringing out few information from the charts which are available to you. That's what the data analysis is. We have one question from Pavitra that what is the difference between data science and data analytics? I'll tell you that. When we say data science, so it's having a lot of technologies which is involved in it, right? So when I say data science, so this is like right from your raw data, then how we are cleaning that data, how we are preparing that data, how we are transforming that data, and then how we are analyzing that data. Data science is huge. The smaller part is the data analysis of it. And then after that, we do forecasting, predictions, applying machine learning algorithms, then applying the supervised learning algorithm, applying the deep learning algorithm. When we club all these things together, then we say this is a complete data science. So in data science, data analytics is one of the part. Okay, then if you want to explore more, that means you are exploring more about the data science. So it's, you can say it's a subset of it, wherein a lot of other things are also there. Plus we have the data analytics also within the data science. Okay, so it is like that. So you will see it in the coming session right now here. Now, Can you see the last point here? Professional can future-proof their careers. For example, if you're doing an MBA and if you're doing a business analytics MBA, or if you're doing BBA, you're completely from non-technical background. Let's say you are doing a MBA on in sales and marketing or in human resource. So how you can make yourself a little bit separate from the others if you have a good enough this skills. If you have a skills of analyzing the data or the information which the organization already having it, then it will be a very big edge, because this is going to be must have skill to everyone. If you're from finance, it is very useful for you. If somebody who is from, let's say, commerce background, then again he can utilize that data. Because when we say we are utilizing the data means numerical representations, right? If we are from commerce background, if you're from physics background, if you're from sales and marketing background, I'm talking about the graduation when we study. So each and every domain have their own different type of specific data. So we as an analyst need to understand that part, right? For HR professionals, yes, of course, HR analytics is one of the specific domain wherein you can explore and do a lot of things by utilizing the power of these business intelligence tools. You will understand that when I try to do the implementation, you will understand that part at that time. Okay. When we say business analyst and data analyst, see, if specifically any business you're taking up and then doing the analysis of it, it's almost same. It's like exactly the same, only the word is being different. Why? Because here we are having certain business processes for which we are doing the analysis. That's why it is like that, right? So now this is why you should do it. Now, who should do this thing? You name any field now. This is something, some few of them which I've jotted down, but like you name any field, the data analyst is required everywhere. In fact, the people who have the ML skills also are also required. You name, be it a sales and marketing, be it operational, be it a finance and accounting, be it healthcare, be it a logistic and supply chain, it is everywhere. So this is something which is very much required. And you name any particular field, this data analysis or data science tools and techniques are getting used over there. So if we are supposed to have a job in 2023, 24, 25, so in this era, any person who are seeking job in any particular industry domain, they should have the knowledge of this data analysis. Okay, so this is very, very important. Now, what does this data analyst do? The data analyst do a lot of things. It's not only about visualization. You will see it when we load the data and when we perform all the things. It's not only about data visualization and provide the interactiveness, not at all. See, when we as a human, if somebody who is a data modeler, who is somebody who is responsible for creating the template of the Excel file for the different vendors, now they will be implementing or doing the task keeping in mind the human brain or human who will be observing their files. Now, those files are not in that form which the automated system will understand. So these are some heavy terms, but I'm trying to, let's say, make it more easier for you. Let's say the data which has already been prepared and saved in the server is considered as a raw data. Why? Because it is not in that form which can be easily understood by some of the automated engine. Automated engine is nothing, basically those are few of the functions already written, and you have to provide the data in such a form so that those particular features and function can be executed successfully. Okay, so now when we have this kind of a stuff, so we are supposed to pass the data in business intelligence features, but our data is not in that form which can be accepted by it. So that's where you have to do first. If you have a data in the Excel form, so how to collect that data from the Excel? If it is in the database server file, then how to collect from there? If it is saved in, let's say, Azure server, then how to fetch the data from there? If it is there in CSV file, how to fetch it from it? So first you have to collect the data and then you have to clean it. Clean means now you have to do the transformation. I'll come on to that when I'll explain in Power BI, we'll do that activity. So how we can do that particular cleaning process? And then let's say, for example, then you analyze it. Analyze means creating few of the things from your this. creating few of the things, like how we are creating our Excels, how we are creating our different attributes from our data which we have got. Okay, then comes your visualization. So these are the steps which the data analysts do, and they do it in such a way that right from the raw data, how you're coming in and converting it into a structured form, everything is covered in that. Okay, so let's see that particular part. But before that, now let me give you a little bit brief about me, because now someone who have just come out and start speaking. So let me just take up a pause and give you a little bit insight about me. So my name is Vaseem Durrani. I think you all know it, right? And I have been into this training and consulting from last 14 years, wherein I've dealt with more than thousands of research projects. Those research projects are the academic research projects, industrial research projects. Those, if I say thousands, so out of 1,990 would be in the field of data science only, wherein we have implemented a lot of AI models, ML models. And I'm talking about 10 years back, wherein we were not having these tools with us. So we had to implement everything from very fairly from scratch. So I have that experience from the ground level, how you can build the machine learning model and you can implement any particular use case. And nowadays we have lot of business automated tools wherein you only have to understand the concepts, load up the library, and achieve that functionality. Means the thing that we were doing and taking around 20 to 25 days to complete, now that part can be done or completed within 2 days of time. So the technology have massively evolved since last 14 years, and we have seen all the transitions. Okay, so for having that specific experience with multiple different MNCs, companies, wherein they were having a lot of different ideas and implementing those ideas, I'll be trying to simplify all those things that I've been doing since last 14 years. I have dealt with like more than 25,000 professionals globally, and I've trained them in different technologies in the field of data science and data analysis, right? So what specific thing which I can provide you is how to put forward that concept in a more easier way, so that anyone who have no idea about it, so at least after attending my 2 or 3 hour of a session or 1 or 2 hour of a session, they can have a fairly idea, okay, this is how we can implement certain stuff in a very easier way. Okay, because nothing is so difficult until unless we try it. So if you try it, if you try to implement it, I'll give you that whole set of things, all the resources with the help of which you can actually say, yes, I have the idea about the data analysis. Okay, Vikram will be answering those questions. AI will not eat up the jobs, but AI will not eat up the jobs which are analytical jobs. But if I say the back office works, the repeated task, of course, all the jobs which are completely repeated. If you are a maintenance guy who is looking into the machine that when it is going to get faulty, you will be obsolete. If you're doing one task wherein you're just doing the data entry, you will be obsolete. So, but any type of a work wherein you have to think and you have to analyze something, you will be using these tools to actually increase your efficiency. That's very important. So these AI tools or analytical tool doesn't eat up the jobs, but of course there will be some transitions of the job which you have already experiencing it. If you see any job description, they always have the requirement of these must-have skills. Why? Because all the companies are transforming themselves totally digital. So they have these tools already up in place, and we as a professional, we need to actually have these ideas. If you're from operations, means if you are sitting in reception and doing the operations, still you need to have the knowledge of this. So what else I can say? So it's very important skills to have, at least how to get your data connected and then how to start visualization. Okay, guys, so this is a little bit about me. Now, without wasting much of our time, let me just give you the idea about the data analysis using the Power BI. This is something which we are looking for, right? And we'll be having a complete hands-on experience on the Power BI. And I'm sure, and I'm giving you that confidence, please be with me till the end. You will, of course, get the idea how from the raw Excel file, how I transform that Excel file in such a way that it can be processed in the analytical tool, and you will see the nice, fair dashboard available in front of you. Okay, so when we say dashboarding using Power BI, what Power BI is? Let me start with that. Power BI is the Microsoft business intelligence tools, and this is one of the most widely used business intelligence tools which have taken major market share. Now, when we say business intelligence tools, what does that mean? That means it is having lot of features, techniques already in place, which you are not supposed to do manually. The analysts who were working on the Excel file, I don't remember any working professional who doesn't work on the Excels. No matter at what level of the experience you are using Excel to document your things. Now, people who are using Excels, for them, the transition from Excel to the Power BI is not very difficult, because it's having a lot of similar features, lot of similarity, but it is having a lot of advanced features apart from that. Okay, so in Excel, we can create static graphs, we can create dynamic graphs, but in the business intelligence tool, we can create dynamic visuals with interactiveness. I'll tell you the meaning of the interactiveness. Right away in one screen, you can see the difference by just clicking on any of the attribute. So, but from where that interactiveness comes out? So what the software developer of this big giant, what they have created a problem statement wherein they have seen, okay, there are a lot of non-technical peoples around who doesn't have idea about the machine learning and AI concepts. So why can't we have the tool, intelligent enough tool, wherein you have all the features up in place, and whosoever is requiring any particular feature, who have the concept knowledge, they can just select that feature, and then they will achieve that sentiment analysis, recognition, classifications, predictions. So these are few terms which you can only achieve when you have an understanding of the business intelligence, this machine learning and AI concept. So these intelligence tools have all these things up in place in it. But that visualization and achieving that feature will come very later part. See the first step. If you see the first step over here, that's get your data connected. So very seamless integration available in Power BI. I'm telling you, Power BI is so easy. You can just simply, by clicking one button, you can connect any data source that you have with you. So how to get your data connected, that's first thing you'll understand. Okay, and once you get your data connected, then what is the next step? The next step is how to transform your data. And this is something which is very, very important. Transform your data means how to clean some not required columns, how to remove the nones from your data, how to remove any particular column which is not required at that time, right? And let's say, for example, if you want to, let's say, completely change the structure of your data, you want to convert the row into the column into the row, that also is there in it. So it's like transform the data. So we are transforming the data so that it can be processed in our automated system. That is the meaning of the transform. Okay. Now, next is create the data models. What does that mean? Create the data model means here we are supposed to, let's say, if we have multiple tables with us, if we have multiple data sets with us, so how we are relating one table with the other table. So you will understand how to create the data models. And this is what it makes different from your Excel file. In Excel file, we don't have any option of the data modeling. We have the option of this data modeling in the SQL. So the power of the SQL, then power of the Excel clubbed together, and then we have a lot of other stuffs as well. So create the data model so that autonomously you can relate one table with respect to the other table. Okay. And after that, apply the DAX functions. Now, DAX is data analysis expressions. DAX is data analysis expressions. What are these? Data analysis expression basically are those particular functions. Like we have functions in the Excel also. You might have also experienced few functions, like if we have a sales data, if we have a budget data, and I would like to calculate the variance. So I can just simply calculate by putting up one formula, because I say it is data analysis, but of course you will not find all the functions in it, right? So you need to create some own custom function as well, as per the requirement, as per the things which is there in it, right? As per your custom thing which is required by the client or required by the stakeholders. So for that purpose, you will be writing the DAX functions. Okay. And then what we do after that. Now, after these 4 steps, then you will do the data visualization. Right. So this is what you need to understand, that after completing these 4 steps, you will be doing the data visualization in the 5th step. And then we do the dashboarding. Right. And then at last, you will see the report publish. So if few of you who have already working somewhere and might have the experience that you guys are already doing the data analysis and you have a pre-built templates of the reports. Okay, but when you need the change in that report, you need to ping to the company who are providing you those reports. Then they have the team of the data analyst who will be making the change in that. Now, let's say if you already, as a professional, if you have the idea about how to do that little change in the report, you're not supposed to wait for 5 days of time to get that one specific work done. So that will be the advantage, and that kind of a value addition you can give to the company if you have a little bit idea about working on these tools. Okay, so it is like that till this report published. Now, all these 6 or 5 particular functions you will experience while I'm just starting up with the implementation part of it. Okay. In the meantime, just give me the idea on your this thing on the chat. Have you understood a little bit whatever I've told you till now? I just want a little bit understanding on this. Kumar, you will get the idea about the data model once you just once I will tell you on the real data, you will get that. Okay, great, 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 guys. Now, okay, right. So all these questions, how to publish the report, how we can get through with the get data connected, how to transform the data. I'm showing you the data set and I'll be performing everything. All these steps I'll be performing on that data. You will get the proper idea about it. Okay, then these questions will completely waive off. Now, for the data analytics, these are all the skills, Tanya. These are all the things that you should know. Because to do the data analytics, first you need to connect your data, right? I'll show you that data. I'm coming on to that first now. Let me just minimize the PPT. Let's begin with the implementation. So let me show you the data first. See this. Yugam, Sai, Nirbhay, you'll get the answer. Just wait for me. You will get the answer of all these questions. Don't worry. See, guys, this is one of the company organization data, right? So let me just give you a little bit brief about this data set here. This particular data set is one of the organization who is selling the bicycle products. Okay, so this is you can say complete operational data that they have. It's a very nicely prepared Excel file. They have jotted down everything. I'll just walk you through this particular data. So whenever I say data, so that means you have the organizational data arranged in the Excel file. So I'm just giving you the idea. Today, I'll be taking one Excel file data set and one CSV file data set, and I'll walk you through on the Power BI with everything. Now, let's say, for example, this is one thing. This is sales information about that data, like product key. We have an order date. So these are all the specific column headers. Please just see on the screen and try to understand everything here. See, this is product key, order date. And if I come over here, the main important part is the sales order number. So this sales order number, okay, they purchased order quantity is 2, the unit price of the product was this, total product cost was this, sales amount was this, tax amount was this. But now if I would like to know which product they have purchased, so we only have a product key. So where we have that information, we have this information here in this product table. In this product table, these are all the keys. Can you see? These are all the keys which are available. So now here, you need to understand how from the sales table, how we can get to know what was the product, what was the color of the product, what was the description of the product. So this is where the data modeling will come into play. You will be connecting the sales table with the product table so that from the sales data, the product information can be fetched autonomously. Or from the product table, you can fetch the sales information autonomously. So it is like that. So when we say data modeling, that means we are building the relationship among all the different tables which are available to us. Yes, Sai, you got it right. That's a foreign key. Yes. Yes, I'll be sharing the data set with everyone. Yeah, it's a concept of primary key, foreign key. Yeah, guys, you have the idea. Very good. I like this. We can connect any type of a database. In fact, all the Google Sheets and everything, if you have, let's say, Alibaba server, or you have Azure server, AWS server, you can connect that with this. There is no problem with it. Okay. So now this is one particular data that I have shown you. Okay. Now, can you see this calendar table? This is pretty important. Please just 2 more minutes with the data. See this. Date key. Now, what this calendar table is, this calendar table is very handy. This doesn't come under any particular organizational data. Why? Because this is something which, as a data analyst, I prepare it. We prepare it. Why? Because we want the comparison. Let's say I would like to see the quarter-wise comparison. I would like to see yearly comparison. I would like to see, sorry, weekday, weekend comparison. So if you want to see all those comparison, then this calendar table will comes into play. See this. We have this month number here. Then we have years. Then we have the month names. Then we have month, year, weekdays, weekends. So we have a separate column for all these things, right? So when you have all these things with you, then you can see directly compare with it. Okay. Let me share the data with everyone because everyone is looking for this data very curiously. Let me share it with you first, then I'll move forward. Okay, so that's your adventure works. Guys, it's there on the chat now. And I'm giving you one budget data also so that you will have the idea here. Take both the data set here. Just download it, everyone. I'm just taking 1 minute to log in on my another laptop. In the meantime, just download the data, please. Chat is empty. Okay, then let me share it on the group then so that everyone will have it. I'm sharing it on the group right away. Please check the WhatsApp group. You must have this Adventure Works and Budget both. And give me the confirmation on chat. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, let me. You're going to have it just 2 minutes. Received. Okay. I hope you have got all the both the two, right? Okay, okay, okay. That's great. That's great. Let me just show you the budget data also. Then we'll start. I have just logged in with my other laptop also. Okay, so I hope you guys have got the data, right? Okay, 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 okay. Now, there is no limit of the records here. Now I'm coming on to the implementation part. So I'll be just sharing this different screen here. Amit, we will do it shortly. The moderator will share the data again. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm just sharing this screen so that I give you an actual view of the Power BI here. Guys, so I would be requiring your attention now. Okay. So what we have to do is, let me just give you a brief about the view of the Power BI. Means how this particular screen look like, where is what to click, what to click, what not to click. And all those 6 steps which I just showed you, like get the data connected, transform the data, create the data modeling. So all these steps, I'll be doing it over here so that you will get the complete idea about it. Okay. So this is your view of Power BI. If I show you, let's see the leftmost side here. If you see the leftmost side, this is the report view. Report view as in wherein you take the visuals and try to create the report here. Yes, Brandon, we can connect n number of database available in one particular Power BI so that we can have a amalgamation and club together. We can have a nice report implemented. Okay. And let's say if somebody who is not having the Power BI in their system, so what they can do is, let me help you out for those people. We can just simply go on the Google. Okay, because someone who is fairly new, so how to install the Power BI? So for them, just simply write Power BI. So Power BI here, can you see that? Power BI creates stunning reports with interactive dashboard visuals. We can just simply click on Power BI desktop. So here we can click and download it for free. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm just sharing this link with everyone on the chat so that if not now, later on you can. Yeah. So what I was telling you is I was telling you how to install the Power BI, right? So if you want to install the Power BI, so I just shared the link with you. Let me just do it again. So that's the link. So if somebody who is not having the Power BI in your system, you can just simply take the help of this and you can install it. But you can do it on the later stage. Now it's not required that you should do it right now. Okay. So now let me come back to this. Please, everyone. So I would be requiring your little bit attention here because this is very important. Once you understand where to click, what to do, then it will be fairly very easy to connect any sort of data that we have. And then when we do the transformation, again, little bit careful you have to be. And visualization, I'm telling you, it's very, very easy. Very easy. You just need to be a little bit concentrative here. Okay. Now, so I was telling you this. There are 3 different views of Power BI. The first view is this report view. Report view means like if you have everything is up in place, then what you can do, you can just simply come over here and start doing the visualization by selecting the different attributes. Okay. Now, when you see this data view, currently there is no data connected with your Power BI interface. That's why it is completely blank. There is nothing connected here. Okay, so that's that second stuff. And this is where you have model view. Model view means all the tables that you connect, all those tables will be available to you as a drag and drop card, which you can connect with each other. And that's amazing. We have in these intelligence tools, wherein, as you already know, the Microsoft is famous for creating the user-friendly interfaces for their softwares. So same they have with the Power BI as well. So Power BI is the amalgamation of, or you can say in an easier term, it's a combination of multiple different Microsoft softwares plus little bit more advancement in that. Like you have separately, you have query editor, you have Excel. So club together, you have the ETL, means the transformation, and the get data connected, you can do it easily. And then you have more of a machine learning processes also. You have more of a, like if you want to connect the cloud servers as well, so you can do that as well also here. Okay. Not going more deep into that. So this is your model view, that's your data view, and that's your report view on the left side. Now let's come to the rightmost side here. There are 3 different views here also. These are 3 different panes available. One is data pane. If you connect the data, all that data will be visible to you here right away. And each and every column you can drag and drop to use. And this is visuals. These are all the free visuals available. I forgot to mention this Power BI desktop is totally free to use. You can download it in your system, install it, and then start using it. In fact, the Microsoft provide you pro version of it also for 60 days free of cost. So they are providing you all the, you can say, 100% features of the Power BI to use it get yourself familiar with it, and then you can think of giving the interview or giving the certification test as well. Okay, so these are the few visuals free of cost available to you, right? So we'll be using around 5 or 7 we'll be using right now. Then this is filters. So these are filtered. Without filter, it's very difficult, right? So if you want to filter out like monthly data, hourly data, yearly data, or let's say if you want to segregate the data category wise, so how we can do that? So we need the filtering for it. Okay, so these are the six important stuffs on the left side and right side. Over the top, as per your selection, over the top, all the components will keep on changing. So these components, these are the common components. Otherwise, when you click on the attribute, you will see the column components. When you click on the table, you see the table components. So these are few components that you see. Now, the first important steps, how to get your data connected with the Power BI. Okay, so let's understand that first. So can you see this get data here? Straightforward. You want to connect the data, you have a get data here. You click on it. Can you see these are most commonly used data sources? So you have any data source, you can just simply might find it over here. You just click on it and then try to upload. If you have the SQL server, then you will have to write the credentials and you can just simply do it, right? Now, let's say if you're not able to find your source over here, I have an option more. I can click on the more here. Now, when you click on the more, a new pop-up will come in front of you. And here I'm saying virtually all the different type of a database which is there, it's available to you. That's something which is very important here. Very, very important here. 6 component Bhaskar, it's like the report view, data view, this model view, and then this data, visuals, and your filters. These are the 6 main important components, which you always should know what to do in which particular component. Otherwise, we keep on wondering, where should I click? What should I do to achieve a simple line chart implementation? Okay, so now see here. These are all the stuffs which are available. Okay, and there is a complete team of the developers who keep on adding up the features every now and then. Every month we have an upgrade in this. You might have additional features coming up. You might have additional functions added. You might have additional input data source added. So every now and then the developers of the Microsoft are upgrading this. Okay, now. So I need a simple Excel file. So I'll just click on this, right? Please. Now it is asking me browse where your Excel file exactly available. Okay, so I'm going here in the desktop, coming up here in the masterclass, and then we have this AdventureWorks database. Let me click open. Now it's what it's trying to do. You're not supposed to do it. You have just clicked. The rest of the, you can say, complex stuff is being done by the Power BI engine automatically. This is where the importance of the automation comes into play. Otherwise, let's say if you want to create a simple table, you have to write a SQL query for it. If you want to fetch the data from the present table, you have to again write the SQL query, right? So for that SQL query, which is basically a query language which can interact with the database or data available, so that is being already automated for you here. You have to just select that appropriate feature. And that is the advantage, right? Now let's see over here. Can you see? We were having 5 files, 5 tables over there, or rather 5 Excel sheets. Now here it is showing me not 5, it is showing me 10. Exactly the same replica, but one is your blue top. What is this blue top one? Blue top is actually the suggested tables. Wherein, what is that suggested table? The suggested table is the Power BI engine. As soon as you open the Power BI, as soon as you try to get your data connected with Power BI, the Power BI engine keeps on working. Power BI engine keeps on analyzing your data at the backend. So what it is suggesting few cleaning steps, few transforming steps on your data, which actually you don't require right now because we know that our data is purely clean data. There is no transformation required anymore. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to just simply connect the data over here. See. Can you see this calendar, customer, product, sales, territory? Same, this white portions. Please try and understand here. These whites are the raw sheet. Means exactly the way it is available in my Excel file, the same is available over here. If I click on any table, the data will be previewing over here. Exactly the same way. And here, what the Power BI suggested me in these blue tops, it's only your name of the name change here, because nothing else. We have the all data up in place without any error, without any missing places. So we don't need the query editing. We don't need the transformation of the data. So what we are going to do over here is we are going to select my raw sheet here. I'm not going to select the suggested one because this is my cleaned data. I will load the unclean data, raw unstructured data, and then I'll show you the difference. Then it will be more clear. But this is my clear data. So what I'll do, I'll just simply, can you see at the bottom right side here, please? Load and transform. Okay. So when you click transform and when you click load, if you know that your data is perfectly clean data, there is no transformation required, you will directly load it to the Power BI. Otherwise, you will be clicking on the transform data, which will open up a query editor wherein you can perform that ETL process. Means you want to apply some query on it, do some cleaning steps. That is termed as the extract, load, and transform. So all those ETL processes, you will do it over there. Okay. Now, no, Praveen, you can load the unstructured data, not formatted data on the Power BI, and then you can format it within the Power BI. So it's not required. Okay. Now let me click on that load. So this particular navigator is what? You just click on the data. This navigator is showing you, yes, the data is connected successfully. And then you can now start doing this thing. Means doing the visualization on that. Blue marked here are the suggested table. I will show you that transform in the next budget data. I know you guys are very curious, but I'll be showing you how to do the transformation in this particular thing. Means in the unstructured data. Here it is completely structured. I'm clicking on the load. I have multiple data set with me, so I'll be connecting right away, the second one. So let me click on the load so that I want to show you something. If I click on the load, what are the processes which will happen? Now here, it's first, earlier it was just connected. Now it is trying to load on your Power BI file. Now the data is getting loaded and your Power BI is trying to analyze your data and trying to create the model also. When I say model, that means it's trying to relate one table with respect to the other table also. I'll show you that. See, all are successfully loaded. See here, all those 5 tables are now available to me on the right side. Okay, now before this, let me show you. I'm coming on the data view. All the data is now visible to me like this. Please, everyone, just see this. That's the data which is available to me. Can you see if I click on the product, you will see the product over here. If I click on the sales, that's we just saw product key, all these keys which are available. So we can see all the data with us here. Now, amazing part is, can you see all these column headers? If I want to reach to the tax amount, I can click on the tax amount. It will take me to the tax amount. If I would like to come to the product category, I can just click on the category. There is no category over here, no problem. Let's say, for example, in the calendar, let's say I would like to see the month here. So I can just directly come over here in month here. So each and every column header is available to you on the rightmost side. You can just simply drag and drop any particular column header. Now, I would like to show you here. I need your concentration, please, everyone. Model view. See this. This is the most difficult part. Means this is also easy, but this is the most difficult part in the Power BI to understand. So I would be requiring your little bit attention here. See, this is zoom because here I'm not able to understand what it is. Okay, but let me just zoom out a bit. Yeah. See this. This is my sales table already connected. Means Power BI engine autonomously identified the relationship and connected the tables. Okay, I'll show you how these relationships were built. Let me bring that customer also here. Let me bring the calendar over here. Let me bring the product over here. All the 5 are now brought like this. All of it are connected to your sales here. Yeah, but in the SQL, we do it manually, right? So here we are doing autonomously. That's one thing. But what beyond the SQL? We'll understand what is beyond the SQL here. You will understand that part as well. Now, can you guys understand over here that all these three tables are connected to my sales table, but this calendar is not yet connected? Why? Right? Calendar also must have been understood autonomously, and then it should have been connected. But let me see how it is connected with this. If I hover on this particular line, the connection between your customer and the sales, you see the Power BI automated engine identified that, yes, there is a common name available in the customer table and in the sales table. And then it has connected this. That means now, once this relationship is established, what does that mean? That any attribute wise from the customer, you can traverse the sales data. Means the sales data means, let's say, for example, if you want to see which customer have purchased how many times, which customer have purchased how much, the total amount, the total revenue generated with respect to any customer. If you want to achieve those stuff, with this small connection, you can achieve all these things. You don't need to write the VB script to achieve all these things in the Excel, or you don't need to fetch or write the complex SQL query to achieve this information. You just need to drag and drop and see. I'll show you that as well. So that is one of the advantages you can get with the Power BI. Okay, I'm coming onto the calendar. Don't worry, guys. See here, that's your territory and that's your product. Similarly, in the product also, if you see, the product key is connected to the product key. Very good. So if you have let's say, if you have those relationship keys already up in place in your database, you don't need to connect that also. It will be autonomously done. But if you don't have a common connection, like which is mentioned by Vijay also here, the calendar and sales don't have the common name. Right? So that's why the Power BI engine was not able to understand that part. So how I can connect those two things? So to connect those two things, what I'll do is, can you see, if you don't have a common name in the relationship, let's understand and see the common data type. Data type means what? What type of data that column is carrying. For example, here, this is the order date. So it's a date format. Calendar is there on the left side here. Similarly, here also you can see this is date and this is also calendar here, right? So now if I click on it, if I drag and then drop it over here, can you see? I just hold the left click, drag this date and put it over here in the order date. And can you see the calendar and date also established here? But let me delete this. First, I will show you the significance and then only I'll connect this. Now, can you see this is the connection? Okay, everyone knows this connection now. There is no problem with this connection and calendar is still unconnected. So let me come back to this report view. Everyone, please guys, just see over here. Now, can you see I'm coming over here in the visualization? Let me have a very simple card. That's a card here. Let me left click on it. So that's a card over here. Now, this is my sales. And from the sales, I'm taking the sales amount and just dragging this column header and dropping it here in the field. Please see this. I just drag the sales amount and drop it in the field. Power BI engine autonomously understood that you might not be interested in showing all the values, whatever which is there in the data source. If I show over here, let's say if I would like to search the sales amount, okay, and if I click over here, there are how many samples? 58,189 samples available in this data set. So that Power BI engine understood that you might not be interested in this. You might be interested only in the summation of it, in the aggregation of it, so that I can see, yes, these much number of sales or amount of sales is being done over the period of time for whatever data that we have. Okay, so this who suggested? Power BI suggested. We have not done anything yet. We just dragged and dropped. Now, let's say if you don't want this aggregation function, you want something else. So for that, what we should do? Let me show you. Let me copy this. We have a very favorite feature, copy and paste. So that same feature, we have it over here also. Let me. Okay, guys, again, so where I was here creating the cards. Let me give you a little bit brief one more time here. See, what we were trying to do, we were trying to just simply create a card here. What I was telling you that the summation of sales amount. So Power BI understood that yes, you might be interested in the aggregation function and you got this summation. Now, if I want something else, so how I can just do that? So for that purpose, let's see, can you see this down arrow here? So if you click on the down arrow, I can select all these, any one of this particular, this thing. Can you see this average? Can you see this minimum? Can you see this maximum? Let's say if I select the maximum, so it is showing me the maximum of this thing, right? So this is a simple analysis here. Now let's say if I would like to see how many years of data that we have here, how we can do that. So for that purpose, let's say we have a separate calendar table with us. So now I'll show you. I'm not going into the visualization yet. I'm just selecting the table. Fifth line, second option, table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this second one, table. If I click on the table over here, right, and then if I take the calendar, if you see calendar, a lot of information about the month, quarter, year available with us. So if I select the year and drag it and drop it in the columns, can you see? So automated stuff doesn't like show you the intelligent stuff all the time. It is suggesting you the summation of the year. But this time, I'm actually not looking for the aggregation. I'm looking for that I want all the values throughout. So how I can have it? So for that purpose, again, you have to click on the down arrow of that specific pane. And then can you see over the top, there is an option, don't summarize. So let's click on the don't summarize. As soon as you do that, whatever year which is available in your calendar, the unique values will be available to you. This is how you can just guys, understand in okay, now let's see again. See this. Let me increase the font over here. Let me click on the search and just simply click on the size. Okay, and let's say 16 so that everyone can see. Can you guys predict the problem here? What's the problem? I would like to hear from you. Can you just tell me what is the problem here? Guys, everyone, please just see on the screen and tell me what's the problem. Yes. Yes. So that's the same amount we can see throughout. So this is one of the big problem, that it's like showing you the same amount everywhere. Whenever you see this kind of a problem, you need to, if you are a little bit experienced or if you have implemented 3-4 dashboards by yourself, then you can identify by just looking into this that yes, this is a problem wherein the connection between the calendar and the sales doesn't exist. And that's why wherever you have all these values, it is showing you the same value, that is summation of the sales amount. It is showing you that. Okay, now how to correct this? You don't need to write any formula or anything. You have to come back to your data modeling view and you need to establish the same which I was trying to show you over there. You have to connect your date format date of the calendar with the date format order date in the sales. You can hold the left click, drag it and drop it here like this. Once you do that, the relationship will be established between the sales and the calendar. Now you're not supposed to think of what to be selected, what not to be selected. Any attribute wise, the sales amount can be segregated. Let me show you how. See this. It's automatically appearing here now. So this is what the advantage. If you have built the relationship properly, then you're not supposed to waste your time in terms of writing some specific formulas. Just do the comparison. The way we do it in the Excel, we spend a lot of time. We spend hours of time in just building those things. But here in Power BI, that is just a matter of fraction of seconds. That's the advantage with these BI tools. Okay, so this is one simple example here. Now, this just to give you a glimpse of what is the power of your this business intelligence tool, that is Power BI. Now, I will show you the unstructured data so that you can perform little bit transforming steps, like the query of some of the few people, that how to transform the data, because 90% of the time you will get the raw data with you. So how you can transform that data, that is very, very important, right? So let me show you the another data, which is budget data. I've already given you on the chart. See this. This time also I'm clicking on the Excel workbook. So can you see I'm just trying to connect my budget data here. Yeah, within the Power BI only will be cleaning it. So guys, I will be just going through few of the cleaning steps in Power BI itself. Okay, so please just see, and I need your little bit concentration over here on the screen. See this. This is the raw data, right? The raw white sheet. Okay, and that's your AdventureWorks budget data, suggested name by Power BI, and few of the cleaning steps might also be performed by the Power BI. We'll analyze that also. See this. This is, if I click on the budget data, can you see budget data? There's all the information available here. Null values, so many null values available. So this is very unclean data. And if I talk about this, few of the cleaning steps applied. Can you see column 1, column 2, column 3? Over the top, there was some irrelevant text. So it is gone now from here. So these are few steps which is provided by the Power BI engine autonomously, but still a lot of cleaning is still required. So how we can do that? Please, if I check on this, so now what you have the budget data with you. Okay, you have selected only this suggested blue top particular table. Instead of load, I'll be clicking on the transform data. Okay, so let me click on the transform data now. So when you click on the transform data, you will see, please, a new view for you, everyone. Can you see these are all the left side, all the data which is already connected with this Power BI file and this newly added data. In this newly added data, can you see on the rightmost side, this is applied steps. Applied steps. These are 3 applied steps by the Power BI. Okay, can you see this remove tops? I can visit any specific step, whichever I want. Now, if I show you this, this is your source count, wherein from where you loaded this. So it is showing me that link from where I loaded this data. And then this is the navigation of the data. You got the navigation of the data over here like this. Now, can you see Power BI itself have suggested you that you might be interested in removing the tops. Then it has removed the top and then changed some few of the steps. Now, what I would like to do is I would like to remove all these suggested steps by the Power BI. I clicked on the red button and then removed all the steps. I'm here with the raw data. Now I will be performing all these steps in front of you so that you will gain a little bit insight of how to perform those ETL process within the Power BI. And I'm telling you, as a data analyst, you will be spending 80% of the time doing this thing only. Creating few extra columns, doing some transformation on the data, segregating few, removing few of the rows as per your, that is not available, that is not required for your data. So for all these steps, you need to be a little bit good on this query editing. Okay, now let's say, for example, over here, I'm not interested in having this adventure works prepared by confidential, because these are the 3 rows which are totally irrelevant. Okay, that was useful. When you see, as a human, you see it and observe it, that is useful, okay? But as an automated engine, for me, I can't process these things. Okay, so how to do that? So for that purpose, can you see that there is an option over the top, transform? So there are so many options available. So I'll be seeing this transform and clicking on this, use first row as head. Sorry, remove that. That's my bad. Okay, so now can you see this option, reduce rows? So I'll be going on to this option, remove rows. Now in this remove rows, there are so many options available. You want to remove the top rows, you want to remove the top bottom rows, you want to remove the alternate rows. There are so many rows which you can perform the task on the rows. So let's say I would like to remove the top rows. So if you click on removing the top rows, it is asking me how many number of top rows you want to remove. Let's say I would like to remove 3 top rows. So if I click OK, you will see the step is applied. So I have not performed any calculation. I have not performed any kind of I have not written the code for it. I have not written the SQL query for it. I just selected the option. That is the easiness available here in Power BI. So if you have a little bit of understanding, little bit of analytical brain, I'm telling you, you can become an expert on Power BI by just adding and clicking on these options. Now, next part. Can you see this call adventure words, budget data, column 1, column 2, column 3? These are not the column header names. Actually, these are not, right? What are those? Accessories, bike racks, hatch bike racks. Okay, so where is my column header? Delete this also. Yeah. Now, these are my headers. This category, subcategory, product name. These are actually the column headers. So I need to have that column header here. So can you see this option? Use first row as header. Now, can you see this? Let me do that one more time so that everyone will be on the same page. So I'm just repeating it one more time, please. See this. I have to remove these top rows. So I'll be selecting in the reduce rows. There is an option remove rows. I'll be clicking on that and then clicking on remove top rows. And then let's write 3. And then click OK. Okay, so now all the 3 rows are removed, little bit cleaned, one step ahead. Then can you see the first row, category, subcategory, product name? All these needs to be removed. So how we can do all these needs to be set as the header. So I have to click on this option, use first row as header. That much is clean. Now very important step. I think you'll be having a question also on that. See this. This is category, subtotal, category, accessory, subtotal. We have just experienced this, that Power BI itself have the option of giving you the aggregation, giving you category wise selection, year wise selection. So why you need the subtotals here? So these rows are actually irrelevant for the automated engine. If automated engine is going to scan this column, it is going to come across with this subtotal, total, and then these rest total, which will be irrelevant for it. And it might give you false values, or it might give you the error also. So I need to filter out this. So how to perform the filter then? So how to perform the filter here? Let me show you. Bhaskar, applied step, I just repeated. Okay, so now if you see here, I'm just applying the filter. That again will be jotted down here in the steps. I click on the down arrow. See this. This is basic filtering. Okay, I can just use, this is actually very much similar to your Excel file. I can select all these things. But if I would like to have a little bit advanced filter, this is a text filter. Equals, does not equals, begins with, does not begins with. I just simply click does not contain. Can you see this? Keep rows where category does not contain. You need to be very careful with the spelling. T caps lock. total. So when this does not contains total, I need to keep those and rest all should be removed. Okay, so I'll click on OK. So can you see that all those totals and everything is gone? So it is this much cleaned. Again, I'm not writing any query. I've just selected the feature and we achieved this thing. Now, very important step and almost the second last step here. Can you see this? The months, January data, February data, March data. If I go till the last, we have till December. All these are what? Basically, all these are containing one thing, the monthly information. So for the automated stuff, these are all month. So these are the single things. Why these single things are mentioned in a separate column? Because for the automated engines, separate column means separate entity. They will be performing it separately. So this is not arranged properly because this should be having only one column, that is month, and all those data should be arranged down the line in the different rows. Okay, but this is not the case over here. So we'll be doing the very heavy transformation. We'll be applying the very heavy transformation steps on this. But before that, can you see a grand total as a column? Again, there is a column comes up with a total. I need to remove this, but this is not a row. This is a column. So where I have to go? I have to go over here. This is remove columns, and then I have to remove the remove columns. Gone. Selected column is gone. So can you see whatever step that I applied, all the steps are available over here on me, available to me on the right side. Yeah, we can remove the nulls also. Can you see this? Remove the rows, which is having the errors. So all the errors, all the nulls will be removed. Now, for me, all these, for 1 minute, please just see on my screen. What I'm doing over here is I'm selecting all the months. Very important. Why? Because I need to convert them, or rather transform them from column to the row. So they will be transformed. That is known as pivoting and unpivoting. So I'll be pivoting this data in this form here. Please just try to see this option, unpivot columns. So this option is there in the transform unpivot columns. What it will do? It will convert. See, these column headers will become the values, means the attributes, and these will become the values, the budget values. If I click on this, a pair of column will be created. See this? Attribute and value. So this is now January and the February, March, and April and their respective budget data. So we were having this. I'm removing it again, please. See, we were having a lot of columns and row is only 17. Only 17 row available, and there are so many columns available to us, right? So I need to transform that. So how to do that transformation? I'm selecting all these months till the December. Okay, coming on to this transform and clicking on this unpivot columns. So what it will do, it will transform, means completely restructure your data from that different columns to only one column, that is attribute. I'll be renaming it to, by double clicking, I'm renaming it to month, and then value, I'm renaming it to budget. So now you have a budget and you have a month. Okay, and how many rows we have? We have 204 rows available with us. Okay, this is what the transformation. See, our data was like this. Can you see that? So many nulls and so many extra text which is written. So it was like this. This was so untidy. Okay, but it is human readable file. There is no problem. But now we have converted so that it can be processed by the automated engine. So that it is like this now. So much well prepared and structured, so that it can be easily processed with your like if you want to build the machine learning model, you can do this with this data. If you want to visualize it, you can do that as well. Pivoting of the column, what we did right now here, from here to here. See, whenever we talk about any automated stuff, let's say, for example, if I would like to segregate monthly budget. Okay, so I need the January, all the category January data, February data, March data. So the automated engine always seek for these values in a different row. Because when you say column, so column will become a different entity. For example, product key is fairly different from product name. They can be separate column, but January and February have the things in common, that is month. So that's why you can't have these things in two places, 2 different, 3 different, and 12 different columns. It is always better to have it in only single column that is named as month, right? And rest, it's all the months are arranged in a row so that autonomously it can segregate. It is like that, okay? Now, but this month is in which data type? In which data format? Can you see this little bit on the left side? ABC. So in Power BI, on the left side, whatever you see, these are the data types. So, but this is in the text data type. I'm not interested in text data type because this is not a text anymore. For selecting the column, you have to just click on the shift after clicking on the January and then move to the right side or left side, whatever it is. It will keep on selecting it. Okay. Now see this, please. How to change the data type of any column. You have to click on the ABC or any particular data type and then select your appropriate data type, date. Click on the budget. If you want to change it, you can change it. Otherwise, keep it 1, 2, 3 because this is number, no problem with me. So that is my transformed data. So these are few 7, 8 steps which I applied. Okay. Now what we have to do, we have to save. So this is not yet saved. We are on the query editing steps, right? But it is not loaded in your Power BI file. So we'll click on the home and click on close and apply. So when I click on close and apply, can you see the budget data is also added in your system here? Let me see the budget. Where is the budget? Yeah, I didn't change the name. So let me go back again one more time. We'll click on the transform data because the name change has to be there. So that's my adventure works. And let me change the name. That's my budget data. So that's your budget data here. Press enter so we can see the name change. Again, I'll click on this, close and apply. So for changing the data type, Vaishnavi, you have to just click on the ABC, whatever which is written, and then you select the appropriate option. Okay, so this is your budget data. Now, this budget data from the different source is added in this Power BI file. Let me go back to my relationship modeling here. And I need to find it. Where is it? So if I find it, it is there here in budget data. Okay, so can you see, let's say this is also budget data here. The budget data found a common key in the product. See this, product key is now connected to the product key here. No problem. But calendar is still untouched. So what we have to do, can you see a calendar format? And can you see a date here? So that I can connect with this budget data also. Please, everyone, just see this. Right? So now my date is connected to the month from the budget. So my budget is connected to, please everyone, just one more important concept, then I'll be moving on to the visual and we'll create the report of it. Budget is connected to the calendar and the product. Your sales is connected to all the 4 lookups. These are lookups, right? With the help of which you can do the comparison. So now when I say budget data, and I would like to do the comparison between the sales and the budget, so what I'll do, I can only do the comparison between the common lookups. Like I can have a comparison between the product, like budget of the product and budget of the particular sales. And then I can do hourly, yearly, quarterly, monthly, any type of comparison I can do with this also. Okay, so that's if you establish this particular relationship, then you can do that comparison here. No. We can have multiple different tables from different sheets, and then you can relate them if they have the relationship. And if you have a multiple relationship, yes, Kumar, then what we have to see in this relationship building also, we have one to many, many to many, and then you have, let's say, many to one. So there are so many different relationship cardinalities available. So all these stuffs, basically we cover it in the advanced topics. Okay, here I'm just giving you a little bit idea about these things, how we can deal with that relationship here. At least we are able to understand what are these relationships available. Okay, just like that. If I keep on repeating again and again those steps, it will be very difficult for me to cover that content, whatever which is required. Hemant. Okay, now see here, please. Let me come back over here in the report view. See, now we have a budget data with us and we have a sales data with us, right? So now what we have to do, we have to do a little bit comparison between those. Okay, so now let me have another table. Okay, not the table. Let's say this time I'm not going to take the table because I've already taken it. Right, so let me take up a new page here. I'm just coming onto the new page here. Let me have this. First option, first line, third option, clustered bar chart. So that's a clustered bar chart here. I have a sales in the budget already up in place. Okay, so now, can you see as per this visual, we are not having the column or the field. We have the x-axis, y-axis, legends, a lot of options available. And if I uncheck this, that option gone. So these options are visual specific. If you select any visual, that option will appear in front of you. For example, let's see this, y-axis, x-axis, legends. So now let me show you. For example, we have a product here. Now we have a common thing, product, and the product is connected to both sales and the budget. So let me take the category and put it over here in the y-axis. So then the y-axis, it is showing me the category here, okay? And now, let's say that's my sales. Let me show the sales amount over here. Let me take the x-axis. Can you see this? It is showing me the bar chart over here. And now, let me go in the budget data. Already connections are established. So let me take the budget and put it here in the x-axis. Can we see the comparison here? But this comparison, the sales amount is too high and the budget is here. Why so? Why it is like this? To display you why it is like this, again, I have to come back to this. Let me show you here in the year. Please, everyone just see year. Don't summarize. I'm just showing you one thing. I have to take the budget. Let me take the budget. Please, can you see the budget here? How many years budget we have? Only 2016. Let me take the sales amount and put it here. Let me go to the size. I've already done it. That's why I'm just doing it a little bit faster. Guys, can you see over here? The budget data we have only for the 2016 year. That is why here the sales data is for all the 3 years, but the budget is only for 2016. Can you relate this? So now if I would like to do the comparison between the sales, what I should do, I should apply the filter of 2016 over here. That please, whatever visual that I'll be taking, please consider only 2016 data. In the sales, we have a 3 years of data with us, but in the budget, we only have 1 year data with us. So now how to apply the filter? That's a very important requirement here. Otherwise, all the comparison will be wrong. Okay, so now let's come over here in filters. That's your sixth part, the sixth component in the beginning I was telling you. Now we are using that filter. Can you see two types of filter here? Filter on this page, filter on all the pages. So my requirement right now here is to apply the filter on this page. So how we can do that? See here, that's my calendar. From the calendar, drag the year and put it on this filter on this page, right? Can you see this advanced filtering? I have to click and select the basic filtering, uncheck all the years and only select 2016. That's it. Now, can you see fairly right selection here? And can you see it is 2016? Right? It's 2016 here. Now, this is month. So I would like to put the month here in between year and the sum of the budget. Can you see this, guys, please? But can you see this arrangement? Is it correct? Because whenever we see the monthly data, this should be arranged in a month form, like January, February, March, April. Okay. And second, can you see the budget and the sales? They are in a normal number format, but they should be in the currency format. So these are also the two very important things. Whenever we deal with all this type of a data, the data types are very important. So here I need to do a little bit change in the structure of my data in the columns, specific columns like budget, sales, they should be in the currency, and the month should be arranged properly in January to December, right? So how we can do that? Let me show you. That's my budget data. I was telling you in the beginning that over the top, these options will keep on changing autonomously as per your selection. See, if I'm selecting the column, can you see over the top, the options changed? Can you see this data type is whole number? Yes, no problem. Can you see this option formatting? I can click on the dollar here. That's currency. So it will change to currency, right? And let's say this is auto. Just make it 0 so that the decimal places will also be 0. Okay, that's your budget. Let me take the sales amount. Again, dollar. And that's 0. Please. Now, can you see this is in dollars here? No problem. That's your month. Now, the month is 1 month needs to be arranged. Let me click over here. Where is month? This is month. Now, we need to sort the month because this is by default normal text. That's why it is arranged in a normal ascending wise, alphabetically ascending wise. So what we have to do, we have to sort by column. We have to click on the down arrow. And then we have to select, please, sort by month number. As soon as you do that, you'll see the magic here. Okay, Bhaskar, I'll do that. See this. So this formatting is very crucial because this is like minute information you are taking care of. You're not leaving those things. Yes, of course, guys, you will get the recording of the sessions. So I would be requiring your attention just to understand so that you can note down all those questions, and I'll be answering all the questions, whatever you're asking. I'll be answering all those questions and sending you back on your email. So don't worry about that. But whatever you can grasp, please try to understand here because that's more important. Okay, so that's your tabular information with a proper formatting. So even if you connect and prepare your data, but here still for that visuals, those formatting has to be up in place properly. Now, can you see this is nicely prepared? No problem. Sales and budget is being compared nicely here. But now let's say I would like to arrange it in the ascending order category wise. Ascending order as in the A should be over the top and C should be at the bottom so that you can have accessory, clothing and bikes. Accessory, bikes and clothing. So how we can do that? So for that purpose, for this sorting, you have to click on these 3 dots. Sort the axis. Okay. And let's say I would like to do it category wise. But this is in descending order. Again, I have to click on the 3 dots, sort the axis. And what I have to do, let's say I have to select this ascending. From descending, it should be ascending. Now, can you see that? Okay, Yugam, for the month sorting, what I did, I just click on the month and then sort by column. You have to select the month number. So it will be selected like that. Okay. Now, please, everyone, just see here. This visual is nicely prepared, but I want to do a little bit formatting of this so that aesthetic wise also it will look nicer. So for that formatting, if you have built a visual, now if you want to do the formatting of this, then how you can do that? So for that purpose, what I have to do, I have a good enough option in format your visual. So just see on my screen, don't do it, perform it right now. Please just see on my screen. Till now, we are doing everything here in the build visual. So I can click on this, format your visual. Okay. And then here, a lot of information available. See this data labels. If I click on this, so now the data labels are shown to you. Okay. And if I go up, can you see this x-axis and y-axis? Y-axis, it's not looking good to me. So I'm just making a little bit bolder so that I can see it clearly. That's your y-axis. Okay, that's your data label. And then if I go down, these are the values. I can make it 12. Okay, and then bold. So I can see it clearly bold. Right? This is about little bit aesthetic wise, it's looking good. Prominently, we can see these values. This is x-axis values. Let me make it bold only. Okay, let me increase it. Now, general. Can you see the effects here in general of the format? Effects, background. Let me select the background here. Let's say this background. Okay. And let's say, for example, visual border. Yes, I want the border also for this card and shadow also for this card. Now, can you see? This is my one specific card, which is nothing showing me the comparison between the sales for the year 2016 with respect to the budget. So that's my nicely prepared card here, right? That's one. Okay. Now, let's say I would like to do a normal comparison between the sales and the budget, okay, in a normal line chart. Very simple line chart, which we all know it, how we can do that, let's say. Can you see second line, first option? That's your line chart here. If I click on the line chart, please, let me increase a bit. Now, as per the line chart, you will see at the down here, a lot of options will change. So can you see x-axis, y-axis? Now for the line chart, what I want, specifically, I want on the x-axis, I want the month, and on the y-axis, I want the sales as well as the budget both. So that's a month here for me. I'll put it in the x-axis. And you have to be very careful that month should be from calendar, not from the budget. If you take it from the budget, you will not be able to see it correctly. Okay, so that's from the calendar. Now that's your sales amount. Let me put the sales amount over here. Okay, this is in the x-axis. See, I did the mistake. You're not able to see the graph, right? So let me remove it. It should be in the y-axis. Can you see that? So now it is showing me the sales here. Now, budget. So let me take the budget and put it over here. Can you see there's a comparison between the sales and the budget? So I'll go here in the format, general. I'll just quickly do that. Same color. Let's say this is from the same genre, so I can have that same here. And let's say if you would like to switch on the data labels, I can just simply switch on the data labels and mark them a little bit. Let's say make the background also and make it bolder. Can you see that? See, you can beautify it to any extent, whatever you want, but this is just the initiator, which I'm just trying to give you the idea here. See this. This is how we can create a card wherein this is showing you the summation of the sales and the budget. Okay. Summation of the sales and the budget over here over the period like January, February, March, April, and so on. Okay. Now, let's say this was just for the information. I don't need it now. I removed it. Very important. I need few calculations. Again, I need your attention here, please. Calculation, DAX functions, the third step. How to write our own custom function to create something. For example, I don't know how many total customers I have. I don't know that. Okay, so I would like to display one card which will show total customers. Total order received by the company till now. I don't have that information also. So how I can do that? Okay, so how to create those calculations without impacting the memory, without impacting those 58,000 rows available to me. So for that purpose, for all calculations, we have the calculation here, new measure. This is where you can write your formulas. If I click on the new measure, the calculation, so I'll be giving you few answers of the questions. Let's say total customers. I can write it over here. Total customers, how I can find the customers? I have a customer key in the customer table, which I can use and find the unique customers. See, if I do the summation, I will have 58,000, but you might have the repetition in the customers also. So I just want to have the unique customers. Okay, so how I can do that? Say, these are the DAX functions. You just need to write the initials. The suggester will always show you the functions. So you don't need to by heart the functions also. All those functions will appear in front of you. See, distinct count. And what I want to count, customer and the customer key. That becomes my formula here. Total customers. How many total customers I have? Now, can you see there is a different icon over here? This is for your measures. Now, how to display these measures? This is my card. Let me have a card. Let me format this card a little bit like this. Okay, and then put this total customer over here. It is showing me 18K. I don't want it like that. I don't want this K. I want to show the complete. Can you see this call out value and call out label? This is call out value. Let me reduce this size first, 25. Let me get it bold. Okay, display unit. It is auto. You have to select and click none so that it will show you complete.
Okay, and this is your total customers. Now we'll go in general and simply just have the same effect, but this time, because this is something different, so I'll be having this color over here. Okay, so that's my first answer. That is total number of customers this company is having. I'm copying and pasting so that I can copy the format here. That's my format. Okay, now let's say what I would like to have. Total customer I already have with me. Now I would like to know how many total the total orders the company is having till now in the last over the period of 3 years. Total order placed. So how I can do that? Again, I'll have one more calculation, new measure. So this total sales orders. Total sales order, that's my requirement again. So formula would be distinct count. I have a sales order number. Can you see that? Sales order number. In the sales table, I have a sales order number and I'm just doing the distinct count of it. So these are all aggregation function. So it is not creating an additional column in the data. No, it is just creating these variables. Sales, total sales order, total customer. These are nothing. These are just the variables which is being created over here. And I can drop it like this. Not on this. It will be replacing, right? Yes. So it will be replacing. Can you see that? 21,225 total sales order the company was having. Now, these are the two calculations I did. I would like to do one very important calculation, that is finding the variance, the difference of your sales and the budget. The budget was something else. The sales was done something else. So I would like to do the comparison between the sales and the budget. So how I can do that? I don't have a right away formula. I don't have an automated suggester. So I need to have a formula. I'll click on the new measure. And I can just simply write over here variance. Okay, that will be sales. Okay, no. So we need to have the aggregation, that is summation of sales amount minus summation of budget. That is my formula here. Summation of sales amount minus summation of the budget. That becomes my variance. Now variance will come very handy. I'll show you why. See this, that's your variance. Now I would like to depict this variance in a very innovative chart, that is clustered column chart. See this, that's a fourth line. If I click on it, that's your fourth line here. So that's your variance. If I put the variance here in the y-axis, and on the x-axis, I would like to show the monthly variance here. Variance by month. Let's say 2016, but this is not what we are looking for. Then why? Summation of sales amount minus summation of the budget. The formula is correct. Then why it is not showing me this? This is your budget data, and that's your sales. Sales amount, budget amount. Yes. Let me see the variance here with respect to the category. Let's see, this is my format. Let me copy this format and paste it here. And instead of sales amount and the budget, let me put the variance. Yeah, here it is showing me correctly. Then why it was not showing over there? See this, that's your variance in negative. Let me go back here in the format. This is your data labels, and that's your values, and just simply display units, make it none, not none, sorry. Show it in K. That's your different variance here. Okay, in your K and in your negative. So what I would like to do, I would like to change this variance also in the currency, so that it will also be displayed in the currency. Can you see that? Now it is proper, negative values in the round brackets. But nowadays, these days, we have what? We have gradient wise comparison. Means this is showing me traditional single color chart. So I don't want the single color chart. I would like to show it in a gradient. Gradient means on the basis of the intensity, the color is changing. how we can have that. So for that purpose, what we can do, we can just simply come over here, and can you see this bars? In this bar, we can see this default color, but there is a FX. FX means conditional coloring. So we can select this conditional coloring, and what we can do, we can just simply select the format here. Gradient. With respect to which attribute? With respect to variance. So I am not able to find it, so I can just simply write over here. So I can just have the variance here. Lowest value, what color? Highest value, what color? Let's say middle value here, what color? So can you see that? 3 different colors. Let's say I would like to change my own colors, so I can do that as well. Like this. And if I click OK, so you will see the difference here. Because this is the most negative value, so it is lighter, and these are the little negative, so these are lighter here. Okay, and now let's say, for example, I would like to remove this legend, so I can just scroll up and switch off the legend here. So now this is showing me something like this. That's your variance. Sales minus budget. So that's your filter. Applied the filter on this data, and we are able to see everything like this. Now, one more concept we'll be covering here, like to find the top. That's most important filtering, to find the top posting. For example, top 10 customers who have purchased multiple times from us. So I would like to know top 10 customers of mine. So for this company, how many only top 10 customers I would like to segregate. So how we can display that? Please, everyone, I'll just give you the idea over here. Let's say, for example, I have a table here. This is my table. Okay, now let's say this is my simple table. I would like to display the list of my customers. So this is my customer table. I'll go down. This is my full name of the customers. Let's drag and put it here. Now, can you see these are the customer? Can you see the huge list? Oh my God, that's a huge list here in this, right? Very huge list we have. So now what we have to do, I would like to do display the sales. So what I can do, I can just take the sales amount and drop it just after this, please. It is showing me the sales. Let me increase the font here. Now, can you see that? That's your font increase. So this is the sales. Now, what I would like to do, I don't want this as scroller. I just want to display a top 10 customer of mine arranged in a descending order. So how I can do that? So for that purpose, I need the specific filtering. So for that, let's say if I click on the filters, this is filter on this visual. This time, not filter on this page, not filter on all the pages. Here, what I want the filter on this visual, because this should impact only this specific visual, nothing else. So what I'll do, I'll just click on this down arrow, full name, and then this is basic filtering. You will see along with the advanced filtering, you have one more option, that is top N. You select the top N, and then what do you want? I want top 10. By what value? By sales amount. Drag and drop the sales amount and apply it. So can you see that it's the scroller is gone? It's only showing me 10, but it is not in the descending order, but it is showing me 10 values, 10 different rows. So how to sort it? There is a down arrow here. Okay, then like you have the sort by, and then sort by the sales amount. Now you see the Turner Jordan on the top and Gilly Brandy at the bottom here. And can you see this total? Right now, I'm not requiring this total because this is completely irrelevant. So again, in the format your visual, you might find a total somewhere and you can just simply switch it off. Now, can you see that? This is my top 10 customers. I would like to put that heading. So I can go in general, switch on the title, and I can just put this top 10 customers. Okay. Let's make it headline, heading 2, little bit bolder here, right? And we can have a background also. We can have a little bit lighter background here. Okay, so this becomes my table, which is showing me nothing. It's just showing me the top 10 customers of mine. So this is how we can build. This is my top 10 customers. I can have a list wherein I can show the top 10 product also, which is mostly sold product. So I can have that as well. But this is what I would say, normal initiation of your visualization, right? So this is little bit about your data visualization on Power BI. This is, I've just taken the sales data, I have taken the budget data, we did the comparison, and then we just displayed how we can, aesthetic wise, we can create these different visuals. Now, one last thing I'll tell you in this visualization. If I would like to know the interactiveness, for an instance, if I click on this visual, this is what the interactiveness. Or with respect to the bike, the whole data changes. If I click on clothing, now with respect to clothing, all the data changes. So this is known as the interactiveness. By default, this interactiveness exists in the system, right? Now, let's say, for example, to avail the function, this interactiveness complete functionality, we have a slicer option. For example, if I take this slicer, this fifth line first option, and I would like to see the territory here, let's say country. So how many countries data we have? So we have these country data. I would like to filter out this NA. So this is also the filter on this visual. So I'll just filter out the NA over here, select all and uncheck this. Can you see that? So we have only this. Now on the setting of slicer here, can you see the slicer setting? We can just simply select this tiles. Can you see these tiles now? So these are the countries. Okay. Now what I'll do is values, bold, 12. Right. So now we can actually see this, and I can add the effect in this as well. Now I can, if I add more effects, but what will be the impact of this? See this, if I select Australia, all the data is changed now only with respect to Australia, right? If I select Canada here, so all the data with respect to Canada is changed. United Kingdom, all the data with respect to United Kingdom is changed, and United States, everything is changed like that. See this. This is what the interactiveness. We have not built that interactiveness here. It is by default. We can just select and start using it. Now we can switch on and off the interactiveness also, but that is being covered on the later stages. But this is, we have the full control here. We can select, we can remove the interactiveness, we can keep the interactiveness, we can edit the interactiveness, all those options available. But this is how we can have the interactiveness in the system. So it is like that. Okay, so guys, just let me know, have you understood anything about the Power BI with this sales data? Have you understood anything about it right now? Total customer is changing. Not changing. Changing. Everything is changing. See. Okay, total customer. Why total customer should change? Because customer here, total customer is distinct count of the whole list. That's why. Right. We make out successfully. For the null data, we will be going back to this transform data over here. Transform data, we have to apply the query editing because we don't have to be like here, your data should be cleaned. It should not be having null or something like that. For that also, we have the query editing, okay? I'll be explaining you all these things. Don't worry, just give me 1 minute. I'm coming back onto the PPT here. Yeah, guys, you will be getting the recording, right? One thing. Second, you will be getting the data set also and the screenshot of the visual that we are looking for. Just 1 minute. And yes, of course, you will be getting the certification also. Make me admin on the other group, other. We can add the slicer of the year. We can add the slicer of any particular lookup. There is no problem. Let me see. Just this is my date. We can add multiple slicer also. There is no problem. Yes. Wait. Okay, so now I am joining it as. Yes, for territory, we can make the visual map also. You want to see the map also? Shall I show you the map? Okay, see here. Guys, just see over here. See, this is the map here. Fourth line, 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth line here. See, that's the map here. Now, for the map, can you see the locations, legends, latitude, longitude, a lot of information available. Now, let's say I would like to see, I would like to see in terms of the sales, in which particular territory we are doing the good sales and not good. Or let's say I would like to mark the circles on the basis of the sales done. I would like to increase or decrease the size. So let's see how we can do that in the Power BI here. It's very simple. See, let me take from the territory, let me take the country. Let's put the country here in the locations. It's not, see this, these are the presence. There's these locations, okay? Now, I would like to show you one more thing. Let's say sales amount. Where is my sales amount here? Say I'm not able to find it. Sales amount. Let me take the sales amount and put it. If I go down, see bubble size. If I put the sales amount here in the bubble size, can you see that? On the basis of the value, the size of the circle varies here. Now, I'm not convinced with this size. So I can come over here in the format. I can come over here in the visual bubble, and then I can increase the size also. Can you see? It will be changed relatively. Okay, see this. And now when you hover on it, it will show you the value. This is known as tooltip. Like that. So you can just see that on the basis of the different particular part. Now, let's say if I would like to display, this is category label, I can switch on the category label. So it is showing me the country also here with respect to the labels, and we are able to see this. This is one type of a map. So let me reduce the size. Let me have the half size here. Now, if I come back and let me have the field map. Field map is used generally to show the presence only. Let's say in which part of the world we are present in terms of providing our own services. So let's say location again, country, location. Okay. See this. Now let's say I would like to change the color of each and every location. So again, I'll search for the country and put it in the legend so that each country will have their own color. See this now. So this is how you can actually show the information in the map also. So that's simple view of your map available to you, right? So this is your simple analysis, right? Now, I'll share you the complete PBIX file, whatever I did, and plus the task. I need to give you the task before we end up this session. So let me stop the screen sharing from here and let me share my screen from here. See, Neera, Sony, we can have a tooltip, customized tooltip redesign with which we can like have the pie chart, combination of a bar chart. We can innovate any which way we want over here. I mean, there is no limitation. We have all the options available. We can do this also. What you are asking for the pie chart, we can do it for the multiple chart as well. Okay, so this already we have shown you the implementation part of here. Now let me little bit talk about the company. Here we don't have the record here. No, there is no limitation in Excel. See, when we have the Excel file, the data, whatever the space that your Excel file is taking, it is taking 1/3 of the space. So 3 times you can see it can handle the data in a more efficient way. You can do multiple calculations also that will not impact the memory as well. So Power BI is so advanced in that particular thing, handling the data and compressing the data to a very high extent. Okay. So let me give you a little bit idea about us. We are right. So we are into trainings with the name of ACODS right now, and previously we were known with the name of Edifico Tech, and we have trained throughout the globe. Like we have trained around more than 30,000 of the students plus professionals seeking the knowledge in terms of in the field of data science and data analysis, machine learning, short-term programs, long-term programs, a lot of okay, yes, I'm coming on to that actually. This is one. Just a second. Let me switch on my camera from here and switch off it. Okay, so let me distinguish that also. So what I was telling you is that our company as a training division, we are certified by CPD UK body. That's a British body which accredited the organization in terms of their way of delivery, the methodology, and the content they deliver. Okay, so this is one of the CPD UK certification which implies on what kind of quality training you are providing. On the basis of that, they accredit in this thing. Okay, and we have a lot of tie-ups with the different organizations as well as the colleges, wherein we have our incubation center in place, wherein we train the students and the professionals in terms of different technologies and different new technologies like data engineering, data science, DevOps, a lot of emerging and latest technologies which are available. Okay. Now, the more importantly, like under our belt within the ACODS family, we have a very huge advisory members team who are working professionals and working in the high-end top-notch companies like Adobe, American Express, JP Morgan, TCS, HCL, Ericsson. So we have the board of advisory wherein the combination of all the people are like more than 200 years of experience. What our students get the benefit of, the students get the referrals, because getting into those companies is very difficult because they don't hire freshers or they don't hire people from normal colleges. They always hire people from, let's say, top-notch colleges, or let's say segment A colleges. But when they get the referrals from their seniors, from their, you can say, managers or the directors, then those people gets the preferences over the other candidate. But of course, the skill set has to be at par with the other candidate also. So what we can get you the referrals as a student or as the alumni of ACODS. You guys get the advantage of getting the referrals on you can say different job roles or different requirements which are there in I would say more than 150 to 160 companies we have the tie-ups with, wherein those people hire our candidates directly. So that's one of the advantage our students gets. So these are a few glimpses of people who are associated with us, right? Now, we have already discussed this. When we are supposed to get into this data analysis, let's say using Power BI, or somebody have just asked the question where how you differentiate between the Power BI and the other analytical tool. I'm telling you, when we talk about the analytical tool, it is they are performing the same task. Only if you have some, let's say XYZ, another feature, and this is having some additional features. Let's say, for example, Tableau is one of them, that is head-to-head comparison or head-to-head competition with your Power BI. So Tableau have a very nice feature with the data animations, whatever animation that you see on the LinkedIn these days. So that animation is because of the Tableau. So, but Power BI is well known for the user friendliness. It's very easy to perform the task on Power BI. Okay, so Power BI professionals, if you really want to get into this field, so you need to have little bit analytical skills, report developments. You need to understand the relationship building, that is data modeling, creating the visualizations, designing the interactive dashboards. So all these skills has to be there. So then you can say, yes, you can become a good enough data analyst, and then you can move ahead in your journey to become a data scientist. So that by covering all the aspects of the data science. But yes, of course, there is no shortcut. You have to practice a lot, implement a lot of projects, do that task, means get your hand dirty and get into the field and get into the projects and spend a lot of hours in implementing those projects. That is very, very must. If I talk about the market analysis, every year the requirement, since, like when I say since the inception, 2015-16, the requirement of the people since the inception of these business intelligence tools, what I want to show you that the requirement of those people who can play with these tools and actually bring the innovation is very high. In fact, it's like increasing or growing with a rate of 56% every year. So just imagine if you are a fresher or you are going to pass out in 1 or 2 years, you see the enormous, huge amount of requirement. And if you are a working professional, still, if you just search on it, the data analyst is required everywhere in the country. And now people always get confused. Okay, what kind of job I'll be getting? That's one thing. I hope that particular question is answered. But what kind of salary package I'll be getting? Or do I have to relocate if I'll be working as a data analyst, or I can stay in my home country and work anywhere? My friend, this is a digital world, right? You're not supposed to be in UK to work in a UK company. You're not supposed to be in the US to work in the US company. I'm telling you, people or companies, HR professionals, and the directors are hiring remote professionals, remote data analysts to work in different verticals. Across the industries, you will see hiring is there enormous. The people are hiring enormously, but the problem is, people do get hired, they get shortlisted, but the acumen and the implementation experience, whatever which is required, is very minimal. I have been taking interviews like every now and then, every month, I take around 20 to 25 interviews. People are like very good when we see their resume or when we see their LinkedIn profile, but when we ask them to implement something, they are very bad in it. And that's a big time problem. Until you have implementation experience, even if you get your resume shortlisted, you will not be able to cope up with the requirement of the work that you'll be getting, because everyone needs a versatile person who have a good enough analytical understanding. Then only you can be a good enough value addition in the company. So if I talk about the Power BI jobs, so there is a, let's say, if you see over here, so there is like a Power BI developer is one of the domain, like you can get in the IT sector, or business intelligence analyst or data analyst, and you can see around 70,000 to $120,000 per year is the average salary that you get. And sitting here in the home country, there is a package of like 10 to 15 LPA, and moving ahead till the 20 LPA, you can get it easily. But that's totally depends on how well you are prepared, and from where you are getting shortlisted, and how you're applying on to the different open positions. Now, see this. In financial sector also, if you talk about healthcare sector, if you talk about, so the average salary remains the same, but they require the analyst. They just tweaked with the job role. Financial analyst means the person who is well aware with the finance data, and now he can bring up little bit information using his data analysis skills. Again, business intelligence manager, healthcare data analyst. I'm telling you, there is a boom in the healthcare industry who are seeking the people who can innovate with their present either patient data, so that we can build a very nice UI experience for the health monitoring system, or we can leverage with the, let's say, understanding and creating some kind of a models which can predict the health of the patient before getting, we can say, before getting sick with any of the disease. We can predict that so that it can be cured. So a lot of innovation which is getting happening right now. Okay, retail and e-commerce, again, this is one of the platform wherein you can innovate like hell. Then manufacturing industry is something which is utilizing this data science and data analysis concepts to a very high end, like to a very high extent. Okay, then marketing and advertising industry, consulting sector, everywhere you see the people who play with the data is required. Can you see this data analytics consultant? So if someone who is 5 to 6 year experience in one domain, if you get the knowledge of the business intelligence tools, then you can become a consultant for that specific domain, because these people require a subject matter expert with the little bit knowledge of these analytical tools, so that at least whatever report that is there in front of you, you can understand, you can analyze, and you can give your answers, your results in a more efficient way. So it's like that. And the field of the digital marketing, the analysis of the data, doing the comparison between the competitors and your things, so that you can put forward your work, your product, your services in more better way. So it's like that. Okay. So now let somebody have asked this question. So I'll just tell you, related to data analysis, we have a lot of different variants of the programs. We have short-term programs, we have long-term programs. So if we talk about here, so we have a specific data Power BI certification program, wherein you will have a rigorous, like this is also rigorous for 1 hour or 1.5 hours of a training. So likewise, you will have a 25 hour of a training, wherein you will be implementing 3 dashboards. You will be implementing, and we will be assisting on that. So that's one of the program that we have. Then we have a complete data analytics certification program, wherein you will be working on Tableau, Power BI, and the SQL and the SQL query as well, which is not mentioned in this. And number of projects that you'll be implementing would be 6 over here. And we have the job guarantee program. So you see, there is no guarantee of everything, right? So but we prepare you in such a way, and we will, through our advisory board members, we'll be getting you calls from the big companies, so that at least you can sit on the interviews and you can try to crack those interviews. But to crack those interviews, there are a lot of things which is required. First, your project portfolio should be very strong. Your knowledge on those projects has to be very strong. Your conceptual knowledge has to be very strong. Plus, the debugging skills, means if you are coming up with an error, so how you're debugging those errors, so that skill also is very important. So when you come up with all these things, then clearing those interviews will not be a problem. So with ACODS, getting shortlisted for the interview will not be a challenge, because you'll be getting the referrals. But clearing those interviews, we'll be preparing you, we'll be having a lot of mock sessions, so that if you talk about machine learning, if you talk about Power BI, so at least you'll be answering those questions very effectively. So it's like that. Okay. Then we have a complete data science certification program, which comes under pay after placement, but this is only for the freshers. Freshers means just pass out or in the colleges, who have 60% in the graduation. So they have to undergo a little bit eligibility test. So they will be undergoing the test, and the passing marks of the test is 60%. So if you achieve the 60%, then only you'll be eligible to get into this pay after placement data science certification program. And this particular program is accredited by CPD UK body. So if you are applying for a job in let's say, for example, outside India also, so this certification will get you shortlisted, and at least you'll be sitting on in front of the interviewer, or you will be receiving the task from the interviewer. At least you will be gaining that experience, because without having the accredited certification, nowadays the shortlisting of the resume is also very difficult. Why? Because resume also gets shortlisted by the ATS system, wherein the application get tracked autonomously. So if you have right keywords, right project mentioned, and properly you have mentioned everything, then only your certificate, your particular CV will be shortlisted for that. See this. So when we talk about the CV, so how you make your CV ATS friendly. So I created this particular slide only for you guys so that you can gain that idea. First is, as per the job description. With respect to different job descriptions, you are for when you are applying for any job. So with respect to any job, the job description, your CV should be reframed. Why? Because you need to write the relevant keywords. Okay. So if you're applying for 10 different jobs, you should have a 10 variants of your CV. You can't have one CV to apply for 100 jobs. You will not, for sure, you will not get shortlisted. And you should not write those keywords in such a way that you have one paragraph, all the keywords are there. No, again, it will not be taken by the ATS. You have to explain in a simple sentences. Either you're explaining your project, explaining your experience, and writing those keywords naturally, embedding your keywords naturally in your CV. That's more important. Okay, then showcase your analysis experience, means showcasing the projects, like sales data project that you have just implemented. Okay, and then let's say I'll be giving a data set of one gaming website, and then that gaming website data you will be just analyzing it. So that is showcase the data analysis experience, means showcasing what kind of projects you've implemented. Not mandatorily the project should be from the client, the company. You can show the personal project also, because everyone wants to see what kind of experience, what kind of in-depth knowledge you have about that concept, whatever the company is seeking for. So that is very, very must. Okay. And then list the relevant certification. That is again a very important stuff to have. Until you have the relevant certification or the degree, then again it will be a problem. Like somebody have asked me, like I have a 5 year of experience, so a 5 year of a gap, then how will I get into that space? So for that purpose, you need to have at least good enough certification from an accredited body, so that your particular gap with that certification, at least your CV should be shortlisted, and they will be calling you for interview. And until you have the skill set, you will not get the job. And even if you get the job, you will be fired within 2 months of time. Why? Because if you are not value adding in the company by putting up your analytical skill in the direction of the company growth, they are not like requiring any people, such people. In fact, the big MNCs also are actually looking for those people who can, they are not ready to give the training nowadays. They are looking for people who can right away from day one they start working. So it's like that. And then incorporate the appropriate action words, wherein like you need to write what kind of achievements, what kind of responsibilities you have carried. For example, if somebody is a fresher, so at least you should know, like, have you done some extracurricular activity? Was you a volunteer somewhere else? So you need to put forward all those important aspects, whatever you have done in your company. Like if you are in a sales and marketing people, so using your data analysis skills, what kind of growth you have brought to the company. So those are the few steps that you should mention in your CV. And then for all the specific job roles, your CV should be modified. And then avoid the excessive formatting, like very fancy bullet points, very fancy formatting, very fancy for your particular image. No, nobody wants that. Everybody wants to have simple, plain, black and white CV of yours, but giving and having a bullet points of your highlighted things. Those things are very, very important other than anything else. Okay, so just to get your CV through with your ATS, these are few relevant information that which is required. Now, so to claim the goodies and the certification, what you guys have to do is, I'll be sharing one specific data set with you. First, whatever task we have implemented today, you have to implement the same. Second, this particular data set, which I'll be sharing with you, what you have to do, you have to perform that task. Few of the questions will be there in it, and the data set will be there. Top 30 or top 50 students will be given the goodies like the t-shirt, and there are a few more things which are available in it. So you'll be receiving from our side those things. Okay, so we will be sharing on the group, plus individually on the email also you'll be receiving the task, and we'll be sharing the this thing also, the PPT also on the group, guys. Okay, because I think in 2 minutes the session will be ending. So, and you guys can query, put your question on the chat, please, everyone, so that we can answer all your questions.